Hey guys, welcome to a very sunny Portugal. I'm out here with Volkswagen to road test their brand new 2019 Golf GTi TCR. The TCR is based upon their race car, and this is in fact the most powerful Golf ever to wear the GTi badge. It produces 289 bhp and 380 Newton meters of torque, and that's all fed through the front axle. Thankfully, all TCRs are fitted as standard with a mechanical locking diff. First thing we're going to do is head out on a public road. Hopefully I'll find something that sort of mimics a UK road, i.e. bad surfaces, potholes, etc. Then we're going to head behind me and go to the Portugal circuit and take this bad boy out. Right, let's jump inside and take it for a drive. Right then, the Golf GTi TCR. Let's go and see what this car's all about. Right. They only come with a DSG option, so unlike the Club Sport S that was only manual, this is only DSG, so it's a 7-speed and it comes in 3 or 5 door. I'm going to start off in sport mode. Like all GTIs, it's got individual, eco, comfort, normal and sport. I'll leave it in sport for the most of this test because I want to know more about its dynamics and its handling than its comfort. But we are going to try it out on some fairly bumpy roads that are apparently just down here. Let's just push it in this roundabout first because there's nothing else around. So let's just see how this grips. We've got Pirelli P0s on here, but it's lovely. It's about 22 degrees outside, and I have just been messing around with this car on a sort of internal skid pan circuit. So there's definitely some heat in the tyres. Feels really good. Yeah, really good. Right, let's peel off down here. So when is the UK expecting to see this car? Well, order books for the TCR open in February, and early deliveries are going to be sometime in March, so in time for our 19 plates. They haven't confirmed the UK list price, but they've hinted at it starting around the £34,000 mark, which is pretty good value for a nigh on 300 brake horsepower German built hot hatch. And from what I can tell so far, this thing is pretty impressive. It's pretty sharp, it really is. It's a very accurate little tool. Okay, so this is a pretty bad looking road. Let's see how it deals with these bumps. Gearbox is very good, as you'd expect from a DSG of 2019 era. You know, they've gradually got better and better. But one thing I've found that at least I don't know how to turn off is if you've got it in full manual, say I'm in third now, I put my foot to the floor and it changes down, which is not what I want. If I'm in full manual, I want it to stay in gear. I'm sure I've driven DSG boxes that do stay in gear, but maybe I'm mistaken. But it revs quite keenly up to about 6,500 revs. But again, if you don't pull the paddle, it would change the gear for you, and I don't know, that's slightly annoying. Not that I want to bounce it off the limiter, but I want to do the gear changing. I don't want the gearbox to do it, and that's why I've got it in manual. So it has a claim 0 to 60 time of 5.6 seconds, which is actually slightly faster than the Club Sport S. I reckon most of that is to do with the DSG box, obviously getting through the gears a bit quicker. Its top speed is limited to 155 miles an hour unless you go for the optional performance package, which includes bigger 19-inch wheels over the regular 18-inch, stickier rubber, 20mm lower in suspension, and they remove the speed limiter. I think they claim that it would do about 165 miles an hour, which is pretty fast for a hot hatch. Along with the standard locking differential, this car also has upgraded brakes to deal with the extra power and the fact that I'm guessing they're kind of aiming at half at track, half at road. In terms of where it sits in the Golf range, there's now going to be the two GTIs. There's going to be the GTi Performance, which is now the base GTI with 240 odd brake horsepower, and then there's this one with 290 brake horsepower. There'll probably be about £4,000 difference between the two in the UK, I'm guessing, by the time this goes on sale. Now, what does it feel like? Well, it feels really good, really composed. I mean, this road is, there are some monumental potholes. The ride, even in comfort or normal, is okay, but it's not brilliant. It's a lot stiffer than I thought it would be, because I've driven some Golfs, including the R, that when you put it into comfort, it really settles down and the ride becomes very pliant. This one, if anything, feels stiffer sprung. It certainly feels a bit more alive and on its toes. Let's put it back into sport. But yeah, it feels really good. The brakes, let's just do a quick brake test. The brakes are really, really good. Yeah, and there's lots of feel there. Obviously, I'm going to get to experience that much more when we go out on the circuit a bit later. Makes a good sound as well, especially when it's in sports. You can hear the exhaust. You can hear the exhaust valve open, and even with, I'm sure it's, you know, it's being strangled by the OPF filter, but it doesn't sound too bad. No pops and cracks because of the OPF, or very few. You can just about hear some hints of some pops and cracks, but yeah, it's really accurate. It's just great. It reminds me a bit of like the Mark II Golf, in the sense that it feels a lot lighter than it is. It feels very fun, very agile, very playful. What a GTI should feel like, you know? Right, we're just coming back into the Portugal circuit. What we'll do is we'll head to a little skid pan, have a little play, pushing it to the limit at slower speeds, and then after lunch we're going to take it out onto the main circuit. I just can't believe it, big stupid grin alert, and actually see what it's like out there. I'm really, really looking forward to that. I want to see what this car is like at high speeds, and I also want to experience that incredible track. Look at that, an original GTI, isn't that stunning? Right, here we are, a little infield test circuit. I don't know what it is. There's a little skid pan down there, but it's not wet, but there's still very low friction, low grip. Unfortunately, I can't figure out how to turn everything off. I can put it in the halfway house mode, but I've been warned about that in some GTIs, that you couldn't turn it off. You could in the Club Sport S, so maybe you can't in this, which is a bit of a shame. You know, on a car that's based around a race car, you'd hope that you could turn everything off, but maybe I'm wrong, so don't quote me on that one. This is the low grip surface, so we'll see if we can get some lift off oversteer coming in here in a second. You can feel the diff working through there as I'm trying to ask for traction into first. Nice. Yeah, you can definitely feel that extra power when it hooks up. It's really good. I mean, this is a tiny, tight little circuit. More of a go-kart circuit in a way. Almost getting lost around here. It's pretty hard to remember where the circuit is. Yeah, it's great. And this is what the Golf GTI has always been about, you know? Putting a smile on your face. Bit of a naughty car, but at the same time it does the practical thing really well. It kind of, you know, kicked off the whole hot hatch thing, and you can see why. There's been a few dud ones over the years. You know, I had a Mark IV GTI, the 2-litre one with 115 horsepower. It wasn't great. It was a lovely solid car, but it was not a great car. I think that's when they were at their real-time low, but the Mark 7's definitely induced some proper fun back into the GTI branding. And this one's going to go out with a celebration in time for the Mark 8 that's due in about a year's time. So that'll be interesting, that car. But this is brilliant. Okay then, guys, we are now on the track prepared TCR GTI. So these have got the performance pack. They've got Cup 2 tyres, they're a bit lower, and we're about to go out and Portimao. Oh my god, I'm so excited, literally. I've just been playing on the simulator, but here we go. Fantastico. Sorry if I'm being a bit quiet, I'm just focusing. Than it looks. You got to carry speed in. I've gone a bit wide and I've managed to pick it up. Every time I understeer in there a bit. lift off oversteer there, flat through here, set up nicely, straight line, braking, second. Let's try and find the apex. There we go. And flat through here. Lovely. Yes. Well, I'm sorry about the silence in that one, guys. I've never been out this circuit before, and the legend in the Golf wagon in front, that has Cup 2s on, I might add, was really pushing it. Well, probably not for him, but yeah, it was it's a lot faster than it seemed on the simulator. And wow, what a circuit. I'm glad I didn't come straight out here in something really fast, because you're doing big speeds, massive speeds. That was awesome. What a circuit. Wow, it really makes you appreciate Harris coming here with the Trilogy. How fast they must have been going with those things. I mean, wow, 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 what? And the car, I have to say, it was amazing. You know, it was, I was expecting it to start sort of falling apart a bit when I was really, really pushing, but it was doing everything I was asking and then some. And it felt really good. I mean, I had the confidence to push it hard on that last lap and a half, and that final corner onto the start-finish straight. Wow, videos, nothing can put that into context. You know, like, look at all the marbles. I know that's actually probably more from the race car, but coming through here, flat out, wow. On one of the laps, it started moving around quite a lot as I got to the outside of the track there. It was just epic, epic, epic. Really, really, really impressed with that. Really impressed. Wasn't wanting more power, or the brakes are really good. Really good. Really, really good.
Let the engines run.
I could do that.
The next step will be the taxi ride in the race car.
Taxi ride in the race car next, but I could do that all day long. Oh, what a tease. What a tease. Well, that was brilliant. Fantastic car. Really, really impressed with it. Well done. Go TCR race car. road car, these are like such short distances. But it's really nice, it moves around a bit. What?
I hope it was good.
Oh, it was amazing. Wow. Woo! Thanks, buddy. That was awesome, man. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I've got sweaty palms. It does get hot in here. Thank you very much. Wow, that was epic. That was absolutely awesome. Going out there in the road car first was just amazing. The instructor was really pushing it and trying to keep with him, stay with him. I was really pushing to my limits because I've never been on that circuit before. Did a couple of laps on the simulator, but the simulator's one thing. Going out there for real was a totally different ball game. That was awesome, really good. Got to feel the car on its limits and way beyond its limits, and it just felt very planted. It didn't seem to fall apart. The brakes were really good. Everything, the chassis felt good, the turning was good. I was really impressed actually, because I was missing some braking points. I was trying to make up time in places that you probably shouldn't. Fantastic little track car, and its stiff suspension on the road now makes more sense because out there it felt spot on. Then you get in the race car, the TCR race car, and it just blows your mind. If you've never been fortunate enough to get in a race car before of any description, they're just amazing. The slicks alone just make such a big difference, and how late they can brake. They're braking sort of a third of the distance that you are in the road car. They're carrying, you know, 50% more corner speed. It's unbelievable. In a straight line, I wouldn't say there's much in it between the road going car and the race car, because the race car's got so much aero, so once you get up to about 120 miles an hour, you can really feel the aero dragging. Trying that car on the road and then trying it out the track's just been incredible, and I can recommend this place to anyone. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and leave any comments and questions below, and I will try and get back to you as always. Till the next time guys, I'm off to have a beer. Cheers.